If you've ever shared an Excel workbook and had someone accidentally overwrite your formulas, this is how to protect it properly without locking everything down.
Welcome back. Today's tip is all about protecting. So I've got the practice file open here, Excel protection.xlsx, and I'm going to create a spreadsheet for our call center. I won't be using this myself, it's for somebody else to fill in. But what I'd like to do with this is to hide all the information up at the top. So this is the source data. I've got a list of countries, capital cities, populations, areas, and currency. And then down here, starting in row 18, is a little ready reckoner. And this is the only bit I want the user to be able to see. So I want to hide all the information up here so that people can't see it. So let's do that first of all. I'm going to select each of these rows just by clicking on the row number all the way down to row 17, and then I'm going to go to the home tab of the ribbon, over here to format, and then down to hide and unhide, and then hide rows. That's great. Look at that. So now I've got the information. Great. That looks good. So all I need to do is to be able to type in the name of the country. So I'm going to type in UK because it's a quick and easy one to do. And there we are. Look at that. So we've now got London, 69 for the population, area in square kilometers, and the currency GBP. Great stuff. Now, the problem with that is, of course, anybody with a little bit of Excel knowledge will know that all you have to do is select the whole thing, go back up to format, hide and unhide, and then anybody will be able to see all the information again. Now, I want this to be hidden. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that again, and then I'm going to protect it. Okay, so I'm going to once again click on the row numbers all the way down. Actually, I leave a blank row this time, so I'll go down to row 16. I'm going to hide those again. This time I'll right click and choose hide from the drop down menu, and now I'm going to go to the review tab of the ribbon and password in here. Okay, I'm literally just going to put in 123. Obviously, I would never use that and would never recommend anybody to use such a simple password. But because we're going to do this a few times, you will see why I've chosen that. Okay, I have to repeat it to confirm, and now I've protected the sheet. Okay, great. So now if I go back to the Home tab and try to unhide these rows, can we do it? Hide and unhide. It's all grayed out. So now all I've got to do is just put another country in. I'll type in Germany. Oh no. Okay. So that's telling me that the cell is locked because I protected the sheet. So I'm going to have to say OK to that, then go back up to the review tab, unprotect the sheet again. So that means I've got to put in my simple 123 password again. Now, the way to fix this is to right click on that cell, go down here to format, so format cells, and when you get the format cells dialog box open, we want the last tab, which is protection, and I want to uncheck locked. Okay, and then I'll say OK. So now that I've done that, it should allow me to change the name of the country. So let's see if that works. Yay, great stuff. Okay, so I've managed to get that to work. I've protected the sheet and I've got the name of the country working fine. However, if you click in one of these cells, look, you can see the formula that's being used to generate these figures, and in fact they're all VLOOKUPs. I don't particularly want that. I want these to be hidden. So what I'm going to do is select all of those cells, once again right click, and then go to Format Cells. On the protection sheet this time, I want these cells to be locked so that people can't change anything, but I also want them to be hidden. So I'll say OK to both of those things, and then I'll protect the sheet again. So back to review, protect sheet, put in my 123 password once again, and repeat it. So now we should have exactly what we wanted. I've got all the source data hidden. Can I still change the name of the country? Let's try Japan this time. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, so it gives me all of that information, but now see what happens when I look in those cells? It's been hidden. So nobody can change anything and nobody can see how I've created it. So there we are. That's all worked perfectly well. I've now got exactly what I wanted, a country ready reckoner so that anybody can just type in the name of the country and get this information back immediately. Great, I'm going to unprotect this sheet again because there's something else I'd like to show you. Okay, if you go back over to the File tab of the ribbon and then down to Info, you'll see here that this sheet has been protected. Okay, so you can see that the sheet's protected, and if you want to unprotect it, you've got to then be able to put in your password. So I'm going to do that. I'll put in 123 again, and that then protects that sheet because I wanted to show you what the other alternatives are. So you can protect the workbook, and if I click the drop down here, you can see these various different levels of protection that Excel provides you with. So the least effective is this one, mark as final. All that does really is to mark a document as being final, so that's typically used in a case where people are collaborating. If you do that, all that happens is you'll get a yellow flash across the top of the sheet. It'll just say, do you want to unlock it? Then you can open a read-only copy. You can encrypt with a password, which is what we've just done. You can protect the current sheet, which is also what we've just done. You can protect the workbook structure, so you can stop anybody adding sheets, changing anything in terms of the structure. And finally, you can add a digital signature. So all of those things are possible, different levels of protection that you can achieve with Microsoft Excel. So that's protection. One final thing before we leave, if you wanted to protect the whole workbook and make it possible for people only to either read it or to open it if they had a password, you need to go here to Save As. Now the problem with this is Excel has changed over the years, and what we want is the old school Save As dialog box, and in order to find that you'll have to click Browse. Okay, so go to File, Save As, and then click Browse. Once the Browse dialog box opens, in here you can now see the name of the document and where it's going to be placed. I'm not going to save it again because I've already got it saved, but have a look at this. Go down the bottom here, and right next door to Save you'll see Tools. If you click that, one of the general options down here is to add a password. Okay, so you can add a password to open, so if somebody doesn't know the password they won't even be able to open it, or you can add a password to modify, so you can allow people to open it but not to modify it. Okay, so that's one final little tip there, that you can actually protect a workbook if you wish, either from anybody being able to open it or being able to see it but not change it.
So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. We have lots more Microsoft 365 tutorials on udemy.com, and you'll find a discount link in the description, especially for YouTube viewers. So I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye for now.